Please, sir, please help my mommy. Damien Corvus doesn't stop walking. He never stops for anyone. CEOs of Fortune 500 companies wait weeks for 5 minutes of his time. World leaders send envoys. And yet this child, no more than 6 years old, with tangled dark curls and a coat 2 sizes too small, plants herself directly in his path with the fearlessness of someone who has nothing left to lose. My mommy cries every night after he leaves, she says, and something in those words makes Damien's hand freeze on the elevator button. His driver, Marcus, moves to intercept. Miss, you can't be here. This is private property. Before we continue, please prove my mom wrong. She says I can't hit 1,000 subscribers. Okay, let's continue. But Damien raises one hand. The child looks up at him with eyes too old for her face. Brown and bottomless and brimming with a desperation he recognizes from centuries past. From faces in flickering torchlight, from voices begging in languages long dead. What's your name? His voice comes out rougher than intended. Celeste. She doesn't look away, doesn't flinch at his height or the predatory stillness that makes grown men step back. My mommy's name is Alara. She works at the diner on 5th Street, the one with the blue sign that's missing the D. Damien knows it, a forgettable place serving forgettable food to forgettable people. He's passed it 10,000 times in his black Mercedes without a single glance. And who is he? Damien asks, though ice is already forming in his chest. He knows. He always knows. Celeste's small hands twist in her coat. Mr. Garrett. He owns the building where we live. He comes every Thursday when Mommy gets her paycheck. Her voice drops to a whisper. She gives him all the money, but he still comes inside. And afterward, she cries. The lobby temperature plummets. Marcus takes an involuntary step back. The marble beneath Damien's Italian leather shoes cracks, a hairline fracture that spiders outward. How did you find me? Damien's eyes haven't left the child. They're changing now, the pewter gray bleeding into something darker. Crimson creeps in from the edges. I heard Mr. Garrett talking on the phone. He said he owed you money. He said your name, Damien Corvus. I looked you up at the library. Celeste's chin trembles, but she doesn't cry. The lady there said you're the richest man in the city, that you own half the buildings downtown. I thought, her voice breaks, I thought maybe you could make him stop. Something twists in Damien's chest, a sensation he hasn't felt in 200 years. This child tracked him down like a detective, walked through the most exclusive neighborhood in the city, somehow bypassed building security, all to save her mother from a predator. The irony isn't lost on him. She's asking a monster to stop a monster. Marcus, Damien doesn't turn. Cancel everything today. Sir, you have the meeting with the Hong Kong investors at 3, and everything. The word lands with the weight of a judge's gavel. Marcus nods and steps away, phone already in hand. Damien crouches down, bringing himself to Celeste's eye level. Up close, he can see the shadows under her eyes, the patch poorly sewn onto her jeans, the way her small frame seems to curl inward, as if making herself smaller might keep the world from noticing her long enough to deal another blow. Take me to your mother, he says. The diner smells like burned coffee and broken dreams. Damien steps through the door and every head turns. He's wearing a suit that costs more than most of these people make in a year. His presence in this place is as jarring as a diamond in a gutter. Behind the counter, a woman looks up from refilling a trucker's coffee. Time stops. She's nothing special by conventional standards. Brown hair pulled back in a messy bun, an apron stained with ketchup and grease, no makeup, exhaustion etched into every line of her face. 30 years old, maybe? Maybe younger? It's hard to tell under the weight she's carrying. But her eyes. Her eyes are green like summer leaves, like emeralds. Like things Damien remembers from when the world was young and he was human enough to notice beauty without calculating its value. And in those eyes, right now, is pure, primal fear. Celeste! The woman's voice shakes. The coffee pot trembles in her hand. What did you do? The child runs to her mother, wrapping small arms around her waist. I got help, Mommy. I got help. Alara's face goes white. She sets the coffee pot down with shaking hands and looks at Damien the way people look at executioners. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Whatever she said, she's just a child. She doesn't understand. Please, You'll what? Damien moves closer. Every instinct tells him to stay back, to turn around, to run. Something about this woman is dangerous in ways that have nothing to do with physical threat. Apologize for your daughter caring whether you're hurt? Alara flinches. Around them, the diner has gone silent. The cook peers through the kitchen window. An elderly couple in the corner booth clutches their menus like shields. I need to speak with you, Damien says quietly, privately. I'm working. I'll buy the diner. He doesn't blink. I'll buy this entire block if necessary. Name your price for 10 minutes of your time. Alara stares at him like he's spoken in tongues. What? You can't just... Ellie, take your break. The cook, a stout man with kind eyes and flour on his apron, emerges from the kitchen. I got the counter. Frank, I can't. The lunch rush ain't gonna be a rush. Take your break. Frank's eyes move to Celeste, then back to Alara. Understanding passes between them. I'll watch the little one. Alara looks trapped, cornered. Damien recognizes the expression. It's the look of someone who's learned that powerful men taking interest in them only ends one way. I won't hurt you, he says, and the words feel strange in his mouth. When was the last time he assured anyone of their safety? When was the last time it mattered? She doesn't believe him. Of course she doesn't. But she nods once, sharp and quick, and leads him to a storage room that smells like bleach and cardboard. The moment the door closes, she whirls on him. If this is about money, I don't have any. If this is about Garrett, I'm handling it. If this is about something else, her voice cracks. Just tell me what you want so I know what I'm dealing with. Damien studies her. She's small, barely reaching his shoulder. Fragile, in the way humans are fragile. And yet, she's standing between him and the door, between him and her daughter, like a wolf protecting her den. Tell me about Garrett, he says. No. No? You heard me. Alara's hands are shaking, but her voice is steady. I don't know why you're here or what Celeste told you, but we're fine. We're handling it. We don't need... He's extorting you for sex. Damien's words are clinical, precise. Threatening eviction if you don't comply. Taking your rent money anyway. And you're enduring it because you have nowhere else to go. Alara's face crumples, just for a moment. Then she's steel again, walls slamming back up. Lots of people have it worse. That's not an answer. It's the only answer you're getting. She moves toward the door. Thank you for your concern. We're fine. You're not fine. Damien doesn't move to block her, but his voice stops her anyway. You're drowning. And your daughter is desperate enough to hunt down a stranger because she can't watch you drown anymore. Alara's hand is on the doorknob. Her shoulders shake once, twice. What do you care? You don't know me. You don't know anything about me. I know Garrett owes me money. Damien watches her hand tighten on the doorknob. $300,000. He borrowed it to renovate his properties. He's missed the last 4 payments. She turns slowly. So you're here to collect. I'm here because your daughter asked me to help. Something in his chest tightens, and I find I'm disinclined to refuse her. Alara laughs. It's a bitter, broken sound. Right. Men like you don't help people like me. There's always a price. You're right. Damien steps closer. She doesn't back away. There is a price. The price is that you tell me exactly what Garrett has done. Everything. And then you let me handle it. Handle it how? That's not your concern. Like hell it isn't. Fire flashes in those green eyes. He owns my building. He could evict me tomorrow. He could... She stops, swallows hard. He knows where my daughter goes to school. The temperature drops again. Damien's control is slipping. He can feel his canines lengthening, his eyes shifting. He turns away before she can see. "He'll never touch you again," Damien says to the wall. His voice doesn't sound human anymore. Or Celeste. Or anyone else. "You have my word. The word of a stranger means nothing. Then consider it a business transaction." He forces his voice back to normal. Forces his body back under control. When he turns, his eyes are gray again. Human again. "You work for me now. Whatever Garrett was paying you, I'll triple it. You and Celeste move out of his building today. I have properties. Safe properties. Secure properties." Alara shakes her head. "I can't afford—" "You're not listening. You work for me. The apartment is part of your compensation. You'll manage one of my properties. Handle tenant relations. Deal with maintenance requests." His eyes don't leave hers. All above board. All legitimate. And all far, far away from Garrett. "Why?" The word is barely a whisper. "Why would you do this?" Damien doesn't have an answer. At least, not one he's willing to speak aloud. "Because your daughter looked at me like I was something other than a monster. Because you're standing here shaking, but refusing to bend. Because something about you makes me remember what it felt like to be human, to care, to want to protect instead of possess." "Because I can," he says instead. Alara searches his face, looking for the trap, the catch, the hidden blade. "If you think this means I owe you, you owe me nothing except competent work." Damien pulls out his phone. "Marcus will arrange everything. You'll have keys to your new apartment by tonight. Garrett will receive notice that his loan is being called in full. If he has a problem with that, he can take it up with me. And if he comes after me anyway, then he's stupider than I thought." Damien's smile has teeth, and his life expectancy will be measured in hours rather than years. Something in his tone makes Alara's breath catch. She sees it then, just for a moment. The predator beneath the suit. The danger wrapped in expensive fabric and civilized words. "You're not just a businessman," she whispers. "No," Damien agrees. "I'm not." They stand there in the cramped storage room, surrounded by industrial-size cans of tomato sauce and boxes of paper napkins. The fluorescent light flickers overhead. From the diner beyond, the sounds of conversation and clattering dishes filter through. "Okay," Alara finally says. "Okay, but if this is some kind of game, it's not a game." Damien's voice is soft, final. "It's a promise, and I keep my promises." He does. Over the next 3 hours, Damien's world tilts on its axis. Marcus appears with a moving truck, 3 professional movers, and keys to a 2-bedroom apartment in one of the city's safest neighborhoods. The apartment has a doorman, security cameras, locks that actually work. Celeste runs from room to room, her small feet echoing on hardwood floors. Mommy, come see! The bathroom has a tub, a real tub." Alara stands in the middle of the living room, surrounded by their meager possessions. A worn couch, a handful of dishes, Celeste's small collection of library books. Everything they own fits in a single truck with room to spare. "I can't accept this," she says for the 15th time. "You already have," Damien replies from where he's leaning against the kitchen counter. He's removed his jacket, rolled up his sleeves, helped carry boxes despite Marcus's protests. "Your name is on the lease. The job starts Monday. You'll be managing the building 2 blocks from here. 60 units, reasonable tenants. The previous manager is retiring." Just like that. Just like that. Alara shakes her head. "You're insane." Frequently accused, rarely proven. She almost smiles. Almost. "I don't even know you." "You will." The words slip out before Damien can stop them. He straightens. "I'll be in touch regarding your job responsibilities. Marcus will provide all necessary documentation." He's moving toward the door when Celeste appears, launching herself at his legs with the reckless trust only children possess. "Thank you," she says into his knee. Thank you for helping my mommy. Damien stands frozen. When was the last time someone touched him without fear or calculation? When was the last time he allowed it? Slowly, carefully, he places one hand on Celeste's dark curls. You're welcome, little one. Alara watches this exchange with unreadable eyes. Mr. Corvus, Damien. Damien. She says his name like she's tasting it, testing its weight. I don't know what you are or what you want, but if you hurt my daughter, I would sooner cut out my own heart. The words come out fierce, honest. She's safe. You're both safe. That's not a promise, Alara. That's a vow. Their eyes meet. Hold. Something passes between them. Something electric and dangerous and inevitable. Then Damien is gone, disappearing into the hallway with inhuman speed, leaving Alara standing in her new apartment, wondering if she's just been saved or claimed. Garrett learns about the apartment 2 days later. He shows up at the diner during the afternoon lull, his face red and twisted with rage. Frank takes one look at him and reaches for the phone, but Garrett's faster. He's across the diner in seconds, slamming through the storage room door. Alara's inside, counting inventory. You bitch! Garrett's hand shoots out, grabbing her arm hard enough to bruise. You actually thought you could leave? You thought you could embarrass me like that? Alara tries to pull away. Let go! Some rich bastard comes along and suddenly you're too good for me? Garrett's other hand tangles in her hair, yanking her head back. You think I don't know what you're doing? You think I don't know what you are? Frank! Alara's scream cuts through the storage room. Frank, call... Garrett's hand covers her mouth. You're coming with me, right now, and you're going to convince your new boyfriend to extend my loan. Or I'm going to... The storage room door doesn't open. It explodes. Wood splinters across the room like shrapnel. Garrett spins, still holding Alara, his eyes widening at the figure in the doorway. Damien stands in the wreckage of the door. His eyes are crimson. Fully, completely crimson. His canines have descended, sharp and white and deadly. The air around him seems to shimmer with heat. No, not heat. Power. Raw, ancient, terrifying power. Remove your hands. Each word is a death sentence. Garrett's face goes from red to white. His hands fall away from Alara. She stumbles back, pressing against the shelves. Mr. Corvus, This is a misunderstanding. The only misunderstanding, Damien says, moving into the room with liquid grace, is yours. You seem to think you can touch what's mine. Alara's breath catches. What's mine? We were just talking. Garrett backs up. There's nowhere to go. The storage room is small, and Damien is everywhere, filling the space with his presence. You put your hands on her. Damien's voice is conversational now, almost pleasant, which somehow makes it worse. You threatened her. You hurt her. I didn't. It was just, she owes me. She owes you nothing. Damien is directly in front of Garrett now. Your loan has been called. You have 72 hours to vacate all properties acquired with my money. If you're not gone by then, I'll have you removed. That's not legal. I have tenants. I have contracts. You have 3 days. Damien leans in close enough that Garrett can see the inhuman red of his eyes, the sharp points of his teeth. And if you ever come near her again, I'll show you exactly what I am. Do you understand? Garrett nods frantically. His pants darken. The smell of urine fills the storage room. Damien's lip curls in disgust. Get out! Garrett runs, stumbling through the destroyed doorway, through the diner where Frank and 3 customers stare in shock, out into the street. Silence falls. Damien doesn't move. His eyes are still red. His canines still extended. He's breathing hard, his control hanging by a thread. Ilara? His voice is strained. You need to leave. Now. What? She's pressed against the shelves, staring at him. What are you? Something dangerous. His hands are clenched into fists. Something that wants very badly to follow Garrett and finish what I started. You need to go before I... He stops. Please. But Alara doesn't leave. Instead, she takes a step forward. Then another. Moving toward him instead of away. Don't! The word is almost a groan. Alara, I can't. She reaches up and touches his face, her palm against his cheek, her thumb brushing the corner of his mouth, feeling the sharp point of his canine. You're shaking, she whispers. I'm trying not to kill someone. But even as he says it, the red in his eyes is fading, bleeding back to gray, the canines retracting. Her touch is doing what 2 centuries of practice couldn't, pulling him back from the edge. You saved me, Alara says. Again. I wanted to tear him apart. Damien's voice is raw. I still want to. Every instinct I have is screaming at me to hunt him down, and he stops, closes his eyes. I'm a monster, Alara. You need to understand that. You're the monster who brought my daughter stuffed animals yesterday. She's still touching him, still standing close enough to feel his heat. The monster who helped me unpack dishes. The monster who made Celeste laugh for the first time in months. That doesn't change what I am. No, Alara agrees. It doesn't. But it makes me wonder what you could be. Their faces are inches apart now. Damien can hear her heartbeat, rapid and strong, can smell the honey of her skin beneath the diner grease and fear sweat, can feel the warmth of her breath. I'm going to kiss you now, he says quietly, giving her time, giving her the choice. Tell me to stop. She doesn't tell him to stop. When their lips meet, it's soft, gentle, nothing like the violence that came before. Alara tastes like coffee and courage, like everything Damien forgot existed, like home. They break apart slowly. Alara's eyes are wide, her hand still on his face. Well, she breathes. That was Alara. They spring apart. Frank stands in the doorway, surveying the destruction. His eyes move from the splintered door to Damien's still crimson-tinged eyes, to Alara's flushed face. Everything okay back here? Frank asks carefully. Garrett won't be coming back, Damien says. His voice is almost normal now, almost human. Ever. I'll cover the cost of the door. Frank grunts. Figured something like that was going to happen eventually. Ellie, you all right? I'm fine, Alara says. I'm fine. Frank looks between them again, something knowing in his eyes. Gonna need you on the floor in 5. Dinner rush is starting. I'll be right there. When Frank leaves, Alara turns back to Damien. You should go. I should. He doesn't move. But I'm going to have someone watching the diner. And your apartment. Just in case. Just in case you lose control and murder Garrett? Just in case Garrett is stupid enough to try again. Damien's smile has an edge. Though I make no promises about the first thing. Alara should be terrified. She should run. Should call the police. Should do literally anything except smile back at this creature wearing human skin. Same time tomorrow? She asks. Damien blinks. What? You've been coming here every day this week. Same time. 4:30. Always sitting in the corner booth, drinking black coffee and not eating anything. She tilts her head. I notice things too. He's been made. Damien, who has spent centuries perfecting the art of invisibility, has been spotted by a diner waitress. I'll be here, he says. Good. Alara moves past him, pausing in the doorway. And Damien? Thank you for, she gestures vaguely, everything. Then she's gone, back to the floor, back to her job. Leaving Damien standing in a destroyed storage room, surrounded by shattered wood and the lingering scent of honey. He's in so much trouble. The weeks that follow establish a routine that feels both natural and impossible. Damien appears at 4:30 every afternoon. Alara serves him coffee he doesn't drink. They talk. About nothing. About everything. About Celeste's struggles with math homework and Frank's obsession with crossword puzzles and the weather. They don't talk about what Damien is. They don't talk about the way his eyes sometimes flash red when another man looks at Alara too long. They don't talk about the fact that he never ages, never eats, never quite seems to breathe right. At night, Damien stands outside Alara's apartment building, watching, waiting, making sure Garrett keeps his distance, making sure she's safe. Sometimes she stands at her window, looking down at the street, seeing him even though he's wrapped in shadows. Their eyes meet across the distance. She never asks him to leave. Celeste loves him. It happens gradually, then all at once. She starts calling him Mr. Damien, and then just Damien. And then, one evening, when he's helping her with homework at their kitchen table, she calls him something that makes his dead heart stutter. "Can you stay for dinner, Damien, please? We're having spaghetti, and Mommy says I can't have dessert unless I finish my vegetables, but maybe if you're here she'll forget." Alara, stirring sauce at the stove, shoots her daughter a look. "Nice try, little manipulator." But she's smiling. And when she sets plates on the table, 3 plates, 1 for each of them, Damien realizes this is what family feels like. He can't eat the food. His body won't process it anymore. But he moves it around his plate and pretends, and watches Alara watch him with those knowing green eyes. Later, after Celeste is in bed, they sit on the couch. Not touching. Not quite. A breath of space between them that feels like an ocean. "You don't have to keep doing this," Alara says quietly. "Coming here, checking on us. We're safe now." "I know. So why do you?" Damien doesn't answer immediately. How can he explain that her apartment is the only place in the city where he feels like something other than a predator? That Celeste's laughter is the first thing in centuries that's made him remember joy? That Alara herself is "because I want to," he says finally. "If that's allowed?" It's allowed. Her hand finds his in the space between them. It's very allowed. Their fingers intertwine, hers warm and alive, his cold and still. She doesn't let go. "Tell me what you are," she whispers. "Really. You know what I am. I know what I think you are. I know what the evidence suggests. But I want to hear you say it." Damien turns to face her. In the lamplight, she's beautiful. Not in the way art or poetry describes beauty. In the way real things are beautiful. Flawed and human and perfect. "I'm a vampire," he says. "I've been alive for 237 years. I've killed more people than you've met. I own this city in ways that have nothing to do with money or power. I'm dangerous, Alara. Genuinely, fundamentally dangerous." She's quiet for a long moment. Then, "When's the last time you killed someone?" 19 years ago. A man who was trafficking children. I made it look like an accident. And before that? 23 years. A woman who'd poisoned 4 husbands for their insurance money. Alara processes this. "So, you're a vigilante vampire." Despite everything, Damien almost laughs. "I'm a monster with a code." "No." She turns, pulling her hand free so she can cup his face in both palms. "You're a person who's forgotten how to be a person. But I see it. When you help Celeste with her homework. When you fix Mrs. Chen's leaky faucet in 4B. When you sit in a diner drinking coffee you don't need just to be near someone. Alara." I'm not finished. Her eyes are fierce. "You think you're a monster. Maybe you are. Maybe you've done monstrous things. But the monster I know reads bedtime stories with different voices for each character. The monster I know tips waitresses 300%. The monster I know looks at my daughter like she hung the moon. I could hurt you," Damien says desperately. "I could lose control. I could... You won't. You don't know that." "Yes," Alara says firmly. "I do." And then she kisses him. It's different from the first kiss in the storage room. That was soft, tentative. This is sure, claiming. Her hands in his hair, her body pressed against his, her heartbeat thundering against his chest. Damien makes a sound low in his throat. His control, so carefully maintained, cracks. His arms come around her, pulling her closer. Too close. Not close enough. When they break apart, his eyes are red again. His canines fully descended. But Alara doesn't pull away. Instead, she traces the sharp point of one fang with her fingertip. "These don't scare me," she whispers. "They should." But they don't. She kisses him again, gentle this time. "Come to bed." "Ilara, I'm not asking you to bite me, or whatever else vampires do. I'm asking you to hold me, to stay, to stop standing guard outside my window like a gothic gargoyle, and just be here. Your daughter is sound asleep and has been for an hour. She sleeps like the dead, no pun intended." Damien wants to protest. He should protest, but Alara is already standing, already pulling him toward her bedroom, and he's powerless to resist. They lie in her bed, clothes on, covers pulled up. Alara's head on his chest, his arms around her. He doesn't breathe, doesn't have a heartbeat for her to listen to, but she doesn't seem to mind. "This is nice," she murmurs. "Having someone, being able to close my eyes without worrying." "I'll always keep you safe," Damien says into her hair. "Both of you, for as long as you'll let me. Forever, then. Forever is a long time. Good thing you're immortal." She falls asleep like that, secure in his arms. Damien lies awake all night, watching her breathe, memorizing the sound of her heartbeat. Morning comes too quickly. Alara stirs, stretching. Her eyes open, and for a moment there's confusion. Then memory returns, and she smiles. "You stayed. I'll always stay." The words come out before he can stop them. Raw, honest. "If you'll have me." Alara sits up, looking down at him. Her hair is wild from sleep. Mascara smudged under one eye. She's never been more beautiful. "Are you asking me what I think you're asking me?" "I'm asking if you'd consider..." Damien stops, tries again. "I've lived for over 2 centuries. I've seen empires rise and fall. I've known thousands of people. And in all that time, I've never..." His voice breaks. "You make me want to be human again. You and Celeste. You make me remember what it felt like to have something worth living for, beyond simple existence." Tears shine in Alara's eyes. "Damien, I know it's fast. I know it's insane. But I also know that in 200 years, I've never felt about anyone the way I feel about you. How do you feel about me?" He sits up, taking her hands in his. "Like I would burn the world to keep you safe. Like your happiness matters more than my own survival. Like I've been waiting my entire existence for someone to see me. Really see me. The way you do." A tear spills down Alara's cheek. "I'm terrified. I know. Not of you. Of this. Of letting myself hope that maybe, finally, something good is happening." "I can't promise good," Damien says quietly. "But I can promise real. I can promise that every day I'm in your life, I'll choose you. Both of you. Over everything else." "Even your business empire? Even that? Even your vampire immortality thing?" "Especially that." Alara laughs through her tears. "You're ridiculous." "I've been called worse." She leans forward, pressing her forehead to his. "Okay? Okay? Okay, let's do this. Let's try. But Damien?" She pulls back to look in his eyes. "If you hurt my daughter, I would rather walk into sunlight." "Good." She kisses him, quick and firm. "Now get out of here before Celeste wakes up and asks questions I'm not ready to answer." But of course Celeste chooses that moment to appear in the doorway, rubbing her eyes. "Damien, did you have a sleepover?" Damien freezes. Alara freezes. Celeste just beams. "Can I have a sleepover too? Mommy never lets me have sleepovers." "That's because you're 6, Alara manages. "And this wasn't... We were talking," Damien says smoothly. "About business. Very boring business. Your mother fell asleep and I didn't want to wake her." Celeste squints suspiciously. Grown-ups are weird. The weirdest, Alara agrees. Now go get dressed for school while I make breakfast. After Celeste leaves, Alara turns to Damien. Well, that happened. I should go. You should, but she's smiling. Same time today? Wouldn't miss it. 3 months pass, the fastest and slowest 3 months of Damien's long existence. He and Alara grow closer. Careful, testing boundaries, learning each other's rhythms. He tells her stories of his past, of sailing ships and gas lamps and wars fought with swords instead of drones. She tells him about Celeste's father, a one-night stand who disappeared the moment she mentioned pregnancy, about years of struggling, about the desperation that led her to stay in Garrett's building despite everything. They go on dates, real dates. Damien takes them to museums during off hours, pulling strings so they have entire galleries to themselves. He takes Celeste to the aquarium, carrying her on his shoulders so she can see over the crowds. He shows up at Alara's new job, managing his building, with coffee and pastries and absolutely no ulterior motives. Garrett disappears. Rumor has it he left the city. Rumor has it he left the country. Rumor has it a lot of things, none of which Damien confirms or denies. It's perfect. Until the night Marcus appears at Alara's door at 2 a.m., his face grim. It's Damien, he says. You need to come with me. Now. Alara's heart stops. What happened? He's hurt. He won't let anyone help him. He's asking for you. They leave Celeste with Frank, who comes in pajamas and asks no questions. Then Alara is in Marcus's Mercedes, speeding through empty streets toward Damien's penthouse. The place is chaos. Broken furniture, scorch marks on the walls, and in the center of it all, Damien. He's on the floor, his shirt torn and soaked with blood. His face is ashen. His eyes are black. Not red, black and unfocused. Damien! Alara runs to him, dropping to her knees. What happened? Hunters. His voice is barely a whisper. They're getting bolder, more organized. He coughs. More blood. I'm fine. I'll heal. Just need time. But he doesn't look fine. He looks like he's dying. Can vampires die? Alara doesn't know. Has never asked. What do you need? She takes his hand. It's ice cold. Tell me what to do. Damien's eyes focus on her face. You shouldn't be here. Not safe. They might come back. I don't care. She looks at Marcus. What does he need? Marcus hesitates. Blood. He needs blood to heal. But he refuses to. He hasn't fed from a human in 50 years. He survives on animal blood from the butcher. But that's not enough now. Not for wounds this severe. Alara doesn't hesitate. She rolls up her sleeve. Take mine. No. Damien tries to pull away. Alara, no. I could hurt you, could take too much, could lose control. You won't. You don't know that. Yes, I do. She presses her wrist to his lips. I trust you. Now drink before I get mad. Their eyes meet, hold. Something passes between them, something that goes beyond words. Damien's canines descend. He takes her wrist gently, reverently. When he bites, Alara gasps, not in pain, but in surprise. It doesn't hurt. It feels warm, connected, like something clicking into place. She watches color return to his face, watches his wounds begin to close. Watches life, or whatever vampires have instead of life, flow back into him. After a minute, he pulls away. His tongue traces the bite mark, and it closes, leaving only 2 small scars. Thank you, he whispers. Don't thank me. Alara touches his face. Don't you dare thank me for this. Marcus clears his throat. I'll give you 2 some privacy. When they're alone, Damien pulls Alara into his lap. Holding her. Just holding her. I was so scared, she admits. When Marcus said you were hurt, I couldn't. The thought of losing you, I'm here. I'm okay. He presses his lips to her hair. Because of you. They stay like that until dawn breaks, until Alara needs to get back to Celeste, until reality intrudes on their bubble of safety. But something has changed. Some final wall has crumbled. 2 weeks later, Damien takes them both out to dinner. A nice restaurant, the kind where the waiters wear bow ties and the menu doesn't have prices. Celeste is delighted. She's wearing a new dress, blue with sparkles, and spinning in circles between the tables. "Celeste, sit down," Alara hisses, but she's laughing. "Let her spin," Damien says. His hand finds Alara's across the table. She's happy. Let her be happy. The meal is perfect. Celeste chatters about school. Alara tells a story about a tenant who tried to pay rent with a goat. Damien just watches them both, memorizing this moment. They're finishing dessert when Garrett walks in. He's drunk. Obviously, violently drunk, and he spots them immediately. "Well, well," his voice carries across the restaurant. "If it isn't the slut and her sugar daddy." The entire restaurant goes silent. Alara's face drains of color. Celeste shrinks in her chair. Damien very carefully sets down his fork. "Garrett, walk away." "Walk away? Walk away?" Garrett's laugh is ugly. "You destroyed my life. You took everything from me. And for what? For her?" He gestures at Alara with contempt. "She's nothing. A diner waitress who spread her legs." Damien moves. One moment he's sitting. The next he has Garrett by the throat, lifted off the ground, pressed against the wall. His eyes are crimson. His face is something from nightmares. "You will never," Damien's voice is death itself, "speak about her again. You will never look at her again. You will never breathe the same air as her again. Do you understand?" Garrett nods frantically, making choking sounds. "Good." Damien leans close, his voice dropping to a whisper only Garrett can hear. "Because if you ever, ever come near my family again, I will make you beg for death. And then I'll make you wait for it. Decades, centuries. Do we have an understanding?" Another frantic nod. Damien drops him. Garrett scrambles away, fleeing the restaurant. Silence falls. Everyone is staring. The maitre d' is pale. The other diners are frozen. Damien turns to face the room. He doesn't try to hide what he is. His eyes still red. His canines still visible. "This woman," he says, his voice carrying to every corner, "is mine. This child is mine. They are under my protection. Anyone who has a problem with that can take it up with me directly." No one moves. No one speaks. Then Celeste climbs out of her chair. She walks to Damien and takes his hand. "It's okay," she says softly. "You were protecting us. Like you always do." Something in Damien breaks. He crouches down, pulling Celeste into his arms. "I'm sorry you had to see that." "I'm not." Celeste hugs him tight. "You're like a superhero. A scary superhero." Despite everything, Damien laughs. It's shaky and raw, but real. Alara appears at his other side. She doesn't say anything, just takes his free hand and holds it. They leave the restaurant together. A strange little family. Human and vampire and child. Connected by something stronger than blood or magic or time. In the car, Celeste falls asleep. Alara leans against Damien's shoulder. "That was intense," she murmurs. "I shouldn't have lost control like that. In front of everyone. In front of her. You protected us. Again." Alara lifts her head to look at him. "That's what you do." "Who you are." "I'm a monster who just terrified a restaurant full of people." "No." She touches his face, forcing him to meet her eyes. "You're the man I love." The world stops. "Say that again," Damien breathes. "I love you." Alara smiles. "I love you. Vampire and all. Monster and all. I love you. I love you too." The words rush out. "Gods, Alara, I love you. I love you so much it terrifies me." They kiss there in the back seat, Celeste sleeping peacefully between them. Marcus drives in silence. a small smile on his face. 6 months later, Damien proposes. He does it at the diner. Of course he does it at the diner. At 4:30 on a Thursday, with Frank watching from the kitchen and the regular customers pretending not to stare. He doesn't kneel, just takes Alara's hand across the table and speaks. I've lived for 2 centuries. I've had power and wealth and everything humans dream about, and none of it mattered. None of it meant anything. Until you. Alara's eyes fill with tears. You make me want to be better, Damien continues. You make me remember what it's like to hope, to dream, to believe in tomorrow. He pulls out a ring, an emerald surrounded by diamonds. Marry me. Let me spend whatever time we have making you happy. Let me be Celeste's father. Let me be yours. Yes, Alara whispers. Yes. 1,000 times yes. The diner erupts in applause. Frank whoops from the kitchen. The elderly couple in the corner booth raises coffee cups in a toast. Damien slides the ring onto her finger and pulls her into a kiss that tastes like forever. That night, they tell Celeste together. She's thrilled, jumping on the couch, shrieking with joy. Does this mean Damien will be my daddy? She asks. Damien kneels in front of her, serious. Only if you want me to be. Celeste throws her arms around his neck. I want you to be. I want you to be my daddy forever. Forever, Damien agrees, his voice thick. I promise. The wedding is small. Just close friends. Marcus's best man. Frank walks Alara down the aisle. Celeste is flower girl, taking her job very seriously. They marry at sunset, in a garden full of night-blooming flowers. As Damien slides the ring onto Alara's finger, his hands shake. I promise to love you, he says. To protect you, to choose you, every day, for the rest of your life. And I promise to love you, Alara replies, to see you, to remind you who you are when you forget, for the rest of my life. They kiss as the last light fades from the sky. Later, at the reception, Celeste tugs on Damien's sleeve. Daddy? It's the first time she's called him that. Damien's heart, still and silent for so long, aches. Yes, little one? Will you read me a bedtime story tonight? The one about the dragon? Every night, Damien promises, for as long as you want. Alara appears, sliding her arm through his. Her wedding ring catches the light. What are you two plotting? Nothing, they say in unison, and Alara laughs. Damien looks at his wife, his daughter, his family. Everything he never knew he needed. Everything he thought he'd lost the right to want. And for the first time in 200 years, Damien Corvus feels alive. Come on, Alara says, pulling him toward the dance floor. Dance with your wife. I don't dance. You do now. So he does. He dances with Alara under the stars. With Celeste spinning circles around them, with Marcus taking photos, and Frank wiping his eyes. He dances like a man who's finally found his way home. 3 years of happiness. 3 years of normalcy. 3 years of pretending that monsters can have fairy tale endings. Then Victoria arrives. She appears at Damien's office on a Tuesday morning. Marcus tries to stop her. Security tries to stop her. Nothing stops her. She simply walks through walls like they're made of smoke, materializing in Damien's private conference room while he's reviewing acquisition reports. Hello, Damien. Her voice is silk over razors. It's been a while. Damien's pen snaps in his hand. Ink bleeds across the contracts. He doesn't notice. Can't notice. Because Victoria shouldn't be here. Victoria shouldn't be anywhere. He made sure of that a century ago. You're supposed to be in Prague, he says carefully. Was in Prague. Got bored. Victoria circles the table like a predator. She's beautiful the way poisonous things are beautiful. Pale skin, black hair, eyes like frozen lakes. Heard interesting rumors about you. Damien Corvus, the vampire king of New York, has gone domestic. Married a human. Adopted her spawn. The temperature drops 20 degrees. Careful. Or what? Victoria laughs. You'll destroy me? You tried that already, darling. Didn't take. She leans against the window, backlit by morning sun that should burn her but doesn't. I'm here to collect what's mine. You have nothing of mine. Don't I? Victoria's smile is terrible. You made me, Damien. 200 years ago in that Barcelona alley. You turned me, abandoned me. Left me to figure out this existence alone while you built your empire. You were dying. I saved you. You cursed me. Victoria's composure cracks, just for a moment. And then you left. But that's fine. I've had 2 centuries to become very good at this. Very powerful. And now I want what you have. Damien stands slowly. If you touch my family, your family. Victoria spits the words. You're pretending to be human again. Playing house with a fragile little mortal and her brat? It's pathetic. It's my life. It's a fantasy. Victoria moves faster than thought, suddenly right in front of him. And I'm going to shatter it. Not by killing them. That would be too quick. No, I'm going to make them afraid of you. I'm going to show them what you really are. What we really are. And then I'm going to watch you lose everything that matters while you're still pretending to be a man instead of a monster. She's gone before Damien can respond. Just smoke and shadows and the lingering scent of blood. Marcus appears in the doorway. Sir? Get Alara and Celeste. Damien's voice doesn't sound like his own. Bring them here, now. Full security detail. Already done. They're in the car. But Marcus's face is wrong. Too pale. Too worried. What? Damien demands. Victoria was seen near Celeste's school an hour ago. Just watching. She didn't approach. Just watched. Damien's vision goes red. 20 minutes later, Alara and Celeste arrive. Celeste is 9 now, all gangly limbs and missing teeth and questions about everything. Alara is 33, still working despite Damien's wealth, still insisting on her independence, still the strongest person he's ever known. They're everything. What's going on? Alara asks the moment she sees his face. Damien, you're scaring me. We need to talk. He looks at Marcus. Take Celeste to the play area. Give us 10 minutes. But Daddy, Celeste protests. Please, little one, I need to talk to your mother. Privately. Something in his tone makes Celeste nod. She hugs him quickly and follows Marcus out. When they're alone, Alara crosses her arms. Talk. Damien tells her everything. About Victoria. About their history. About the threat. Alara listens in silence. When he finishes, she's quiet for a long moment. So your psychotic vampire ex-girlfriend wants to destroy our family, she finally says. She's not my... We were never... Damien stops. Yes. Essentially. And she's powerful enough to walk through your security. Yes. And she threatened our daughter. Yes. Alara nods once. Then we kill her. Damien blinks. What? You heard me. Alara's eyes are hard. She threatened Celeste. She threatened us. So we eliminate the threat. Alara, you can't just... She's an ancient vampire. She's a bully. Alara moves closer. I've dealt with bullies my whole life. They're all the same. They pick on people they think are weak. But we're not weak. And we're not going to run or hide or let her take what's ours. I don't want you anywhere near her. Too bad. Alara takes his hands. We're in this together. For better or worse, remember? You don't get to protect me from everything. I can try. And you'll fail. She squeezes his hands. So instead, tell me how we stop her. They spend the next 3 hours planning. Marcus brings in files on Victoria, her patterns, her weaknesses, her known associates. It's not much, but it's something. Night falls. They send Celeste home with Frank and his wife to a safe house 3 states away. Celeste cries. Alara cries. Damien doesn't cry because he can't, but something inside him fractures watching them say goodbye. I'll see you soon, Alara promises, holding her daughter tight. I love you so much. I love you too, Mommy. Celeste turns to Damien. Daddy, don't let the bad lady hurt Mommy. Never, Damien swears. You have my word. After they leave, the penthouse feels too big, too empty. Alara stands at the window staring out at the city. I hate this, she says quietly. I know. I hate that loving you means living in danger. I know. Damien comes up behind her, wrapping his arms around her waist. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. Alara leans back against him. Just don't die. Don't leave me. Don't make me raise our daughter alone. I won't. Promise. Promise. Victoria strikes at midnight. She doesn't come alone. She brings others. 4 vampires, all ancient, all loyal to her. They materialize in the penthouse like nightmares given form. Damien and Alara are ready. The fight is brutal. Damien moves like death incarnate, all speed and strength and centuries of experience. He tears through 2 vampires before they can react, but Victoria is his equal. Faster, crueler. She matches him blow for blow. Alara isn't helpless. Damien made sure of that. Trained her. Taught her. Armed her with weapons that can actually hurt vampires. She fights alongside Marcus, taking down the 3rd vampire with a wooden stake and sheer determination. But the 4th vampire goes after Alara while she's distracted. Damien sees it happening. Sees the vampire lunging. Sees Alara turning too late. Sees death coming for his wife. He moves without thinking. Throws himself between them. Takes claws, meant for Alara's throat, in his own chest instead. The pain is extraordinary. The vampire's claws are coated in something. Poison, magic. Damien doesn't know. That burns like sunlight from the inside. He goes down, hard. Damien! Alara's scream cuts through everything. She's suddenly there, catching him. Lowering him to the ground. No, 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 no! Get out, Damien manages. Blood fills his mouth. Alara, run. I'm not leaving you. Victoria appears above them, smiling, victorious. How poetic. The great Damien Corvus, brought down protecting his human pet. Leave them alone. Damien tries to rise, fails. This is between us. No. Victoria crouches down. This is about showing you what happens when you pretend to be something you're not. You're a vampire, Damien. A predator. And predators don't get happy endings. You're wrong. Alara's voice cuts through. She's standing now, holding something. A syringe. Where did she get a syringe? Victoria laughs. What are you going to do with that, little human? Poison me? Something like that. Alara's hands are steady. Did you know Damien's been working with scientists, trying to find a cure for vampirism? They haven't found a cure, but they found something else. Something that can strip a vampire's powers for exactly 10 seconds. Victoria's smile falters. You're bluffing. Try me. Alara takes a step forward. You wanted to know what makes us dangerous? It's not strength. It's not speed. It's that we fight for each other. And we don't stop. Ever. She lunges, fast. Faster than Victoria expects from a human. The needle sinks into Victoria's neck. For exactly 10 seconds, Victoria is mortal again. It's enough. Marcus is there with the stake. Then it's over. Victoria crumbles to ash with a look of surprise frozen on her face. The remaining vampires flee. Silence falls. Alara drops to her knees beside Damien. Stay with me. Please stay with me. Always. His voice is barely a whisper. But I need blood. A lot of it. Take mine. Alara. Take it. She's crying now. You're dying. You need blood. Take mine. Damien wants to argue, wants to refuse. But the poison is spreading. He can feel it. And Alara's wrist is right there, pressed to his lips, her blood singing to him. He drinks. Not enough to hurt her. Never enough to hurt her, but enough to heal. Enough to neutralize the poison. Enough to pull him back from the edge. When he finally stops, Alara is pale but conscious. Marcus is already there with juice and protein bars, forcing her to eat. That was insane, Marcus mutters. Both of you are completely insane. Worked, though, Alara says weakly. Damien pulls her into his arms, just holds her. They're both shaking, both covered in blood and ash, both alive. Don't ever do that again, he whispers into her hair. Which part? The part where I saved your life, or the part where I faced down an ancient vampire with a syringe? Both. Either. All of it. No promises. Alara pulls back to look at him. We're a team. That's how this works. 3 days later, they bring Celeste home. She runs through the penthouse door and launches herself at both of them, sobbing. They hold her between them, a tangle of arms and tears and relief. The bad lady's gone? Celeste asks. The bad lady's gone, Damien confirms. You're safe. We're all safe. Good. Celeste pulls back, wiping her eyes. Because I missed you. Both of you. So much. That night, after Celeste is asleep in her own bed, Damien and Alara stand on the balcony. The city spreads out below them. Millions of lights, millions of lives, millions of moments just like this one. I was thinking, Alara says. Dangerous. She elbows him. I was thinking we should get a dog. A dog? Yeah, a big one. For protection. And companionship. And because Celeste's been asking for one since she was 5. Damien considers this. A dog would need walking, and feeding, and veterinary care. And love, Alara adds. And a family, like all of us needed. She's right. Of course she's right. She's always right. Okay, Damien says. We'll get a dog. Really? Really, but I'm not cleaning up after it. Alara laughs. It's the most beautiful sound in the world. Deal. They stand there in comfortable silence, her hand in his, watching the city breathe. Somewhere below, people are falling in love. Breaking up, being born, dying, living all their small, precious moments. Thank you, Damien says suddenly. For what? For seeing me, for choosing me, for fighting for us. He turns to face her, for making me remember what it means to be alive. Alara rises on her toes to kiss him. Thank you for letting me, for trusting me, for being Celeste's father, for being my husband. She smiles against his lips. For being you. Inside, Celeste calls out. A nightmare, probably. They both move instantly, going to her. Damien sits on one side of her bed, Alara on the other. They take turns telling stories until she falls back asleep, secure between them. Later, in their own bed, Alara curls against Damien's chest. I love you, she murmurs, already half asleep. I love you too, Damien replies to the darkness. More than anything, more than everything. She's already asleep, breathing steady and deep, safe. Damien lies awake, as he always does, watching over his family, his reason. His redemption. The monster who learned to be a man. The predator who learned to protect. The vampire who learned to love. And for the first time in 200 years, Damien Corvus is not just existing. He's living.